Tauran family, hello and welcome to your September 2024 Tarot Forecast. I'm Ms. Eden, and Taurans, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome. This is going to be a general reading for Tauran sun, moon, and rising signs. If y'all aren't sure of your moon or rising sign, there are plenty of online resources where you can just do a quick Google search for a birth chart calculator. There's also plenty of apps, astrology apps, where you can get a free birth chart and get that info as well, y'all. So welcome. I'm so glad that you're here again. To all the longtime followers, welcome. And I'm so glad that, to be redundant, that y'all are checking this out. Thank you all for your comments, your subscriptions, your likes, the shares. I've really loved the comments that we've gotten from the family so far, so keep them coming. Really have been enjoying your thoughts and hearing how these readings are resonating with you. To all the new subscribers, I know we've gained some new subscribers recently. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us, and I'm really happy you're here. Let's keep growing that family. So definitely, y'all, add some comments below. I love hearing from y'all. This is definitely a conversation. I really appreciate the feedback to know how these readings resonate for the collective, because, you know, I don't know unless I hear from y'all. So know, beautiful Tauran family, that whenever you catch this video, whenever you catch this message, that was the right time for you to receive it. So don't sweat it so much if you don't catch right after I post. That's okay. Know that there's a time and place for you to receive it. And I hope that there is something in this message for you, wonderful Tauran family. All right. Last plug. If y'all do like what you're seeing here, please go check out my Instagram. That link is in my bio. I don't do too many socials. So I do have some things that get posted on my Instagram that don't always cross over to my YouTube here. All right, y'all. So let's just keep growing that family. And I love, again, the feedback. And yeah, let me know what y'all think. Let me take a quick swig. I'm a bit parched. I'm trying to get a few videos done today. So I have my water here. I'm going to have to break for water every now and again, y'all. Beautiful Taurans, let's talk a little bit about the astrology of the month before we get into your reading. There is some movement right when we get into September. We have Uranus going retrograde in your sign, Taurus. Yep, Uranus is currently transiting through the sign of Taurus. I believe through January. I believe. I need to double check if that date is indeed Uranus and Taurus, or if that's Uranus retrograde. So either way, Uranus goes retrograde on the 1st of September. On that same day, Pluto, which is currently retrograding, moves back into the sign of Capricorn from Aquarius. It's been doing this little dance between Capricorn and Aquarius for the last little while. So that's a big deal, because this is the final time that Pluto will be in Capricorn for the next couple of 100 years. All right, it's wrapping up its cycle in Capricorn, and while it's retrograding, it's sliding back into the sign of Capricorn one last time. So that's going to be a big deal happening on the 1st of September as we enter the month. On the 2nd, we have had, I guess, past tense when I'm filming this video, we had a beautiful new moon in Virgo. So that's a lovely energy to grow new ideas with, to really give it that nurturing, well-researched energy that ideas need to come to fruition and begin seeing them in reality in the world around us, right? So that's a lovely new moon energy on the 2nd of September. Then on the 17th, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. Very dreamy, all about culminations, wrap-ups, a little extra oomph from that lunar eclipse energy. So what do we need? What cycles do we need to learn from and wrap up and release? In the sign of Pisces, we may be having a lot of knowledge coming to us and signs in our dream world, right? We maybe have feelings and intuitions that are speaking to us around that full moon time. Then on the 22nd of September, it is the autumnal, I was going to say autumn, but autumnal equinox. And then we have Libra season starting that same day. So moving from the earth sign of Virgo into air sign Libra. A couple of other notes to keep in mind, Taurans, right now is it's even heavier retrograde energy because we currently have Saturn retrograding and Neptune retrograding, both in the sign of Pisces. A lot of Pisces energy, which is demanding Saturn, that taskmaster, that strict father figure that makes us get really disciplined about what we want to accomplish, what goals we want to see. It's asking us to get really disciplined and serious about our spiritual development and practices. Neptune is at home in its home sign, well, right, it's at home in Pisces. So that's a very natural place for Pisces to be, very dreamy, very intuitive, very connected with its emotional side, their feelings. But Neptune and again Saturn are retrograding, so a lot of emphasis on, again, that spiritual connection, that spiritual development, our intuition. What is it saying to us? What are our dreams saying to us right now? What are the messages we're receiving through moments of quiet and meditation? What are we feeling about all that? That's all what's coming up with all these retrogrades, especially in Pisces, y'all. So the themes to take away right now, Tauran, is that from here to the end of the year, the pace is going to pick up. That's the way of it. We're going to see a lot of big, sudden changes on the global power scale, like our power dynamics, our governments, our financial systems, that Uranus and Taurus energy. Uranus brings really swift and sudden change. It also loves learning and innovation and new ideas. So with it in the sign of Taurus, we might see a lot of new innovation with our financial systems, Taurus, money, earth sign, right? But also we might see a lot more storms, Uranus, that sky god, with lightning and wind. We might see an uptick in tectonic activity like earthquakes and volcanoes. I know that that's been happening a lot more. But ultimately, y'all, this is with Pluto in Capricorn, wrapping up its cycle in Capricorn as it moves into the sign of Aquarius, again, an earth sign, Capricorn to an air sign. This is all about a shift in our power structures. This top-down power ain't cutting it no more. And what we're shifting to is a more lateral power to the people, power for all, right? Structure. Yeah. So a lot of connection to community, to our spiritual sides that should help guide us, right? Especially when we're leading with that light, that love. It's important with all of these big shifts and changes from this old paradigm, this capitalistic power, money, greed, ego structure that is on its way out, y'all. It's going to get louder on its way out. So it may look like it's getting worse before it gets better. But it's important during this period of shift and change and transition that we stay very objective. We ask a lot of questions and we become very critical thinkers. Check our sources. Not twice, thrice, right? So that's the astrology of what's going on right now, my beautiful Taurans. A second thing that I wanted to touch base with before we got into your reading is that I've been wanting to expand a little bit more into my clairvoyant side and what I can pick up clairvoyantly for you, intuitively, clairvoyantly. So I did a little bit of clairvoyant meditation before I started the video, and I wanted to share with you the few things that I picked up. Now, because I'm very much a beginner in this. It's all going to maybe feel or sound a little disjointed, very symbolic, right? There's not going to be too much timeline or very specific things here. But the few things that did come up for my Tauran family when I checked in clairvoyantly were, the first thing that I saw was leaves, trees, forest, green space. Forest specifically, focusing on those leaves of the forest. So I know my Taurans are very much at home in natural green spaces. We're earth signs. We like to get in and with the earth, right? Fellow Tauran here. So that was the first image. The second image, I have to recall, I've now done so much talking. Give me a moment to just let me focus in and call it back. Yeah. Okay. The second image was, I saw a, like, kind of a pot of gold tipping over and pouring out. So it was like a waterfall of gold, a golden fall. No, not golden showers. How dare you think that? Anyway, so let's keep it moving. The third thing that I saw when I checked in with Taurus for September was, the like a church building. And then I very much got the feeling of like the Hierophant card, which is the Tauran card of the tarot. So a deep pull again to connection with our spiritual sides, all that Saturn and Pisces and this upcoming lunar eclipse, and Neptune, in Pisces as well. All emphasizing that connection with our spiritual development, our intuitive sides, y'all. So the money pouring out, I don't know, y'all are gonna have to let me know. I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing. Like, is money coming to y'all? Just overflowing? Is it like waterfalls? Scrooge McDuck, like in DuckTales status of money? I don't know if that went over anyone's head. I don't know, like 80s baby, but grew up in the 90s sort of thing. So that's my era. But it could be conversely for some of y'all, maybe like, again, the money jar is emptying, like it's pouring out. So I have to leave that open since this is a general reading. Y'all let me know in the comments. Maybe y'all can provide me some guidance and insight with those three things: the forest, the leaves, the green space, very green, natural, right? The pot of gold kind of not overflowing, but pouring out like a waterfall of gold. And then the organized religious building, like a church, kind of connected to that Hierophant card, that Taurus energy, which is all about discipline in our religious understanding and development. So much so that we're doing, let me back it up. We're learning so much in those areas and getting so disciplined within our spiritual sides that we can then teach others, right? That's all about, like, it is a power card. It can be about commitments as well, marriages perhaps. But so that's my takeaway. Let me know, Taurus, what y'all think. All right, Taurus fam, let's get into your monthly reading for September. Here you are coming into the month. Yeah, y'all are leaving an emotional a situation behind emotionally, I should say. It might be an emotional situation, but you are done with something emotionally. You've crossed the bridge. You've left it. You're bye-bye. I'm done. And there's an eclipse in this card, a lunar eclipse. So think back to last eclipse cycle, right? We have one upcoming. It could be a kind of a foretelling a little bit to like what's upcoming for this lunar eclipse on the 17th. But it could also be harboring back to something that taps into what happened at a previous lunar eclipse, the last lunar eclipse cycle. So yeah, but the takeaway is that y'all are done emotionally with something, so much so that you've already crossed the rivers of emotion, like you've disconnected, you are walking away from a situation that has no longer emotionally served you. And that is because the energy that's crossing you is all about thieving and taking and manipulating and lying, things that mess with your mind. So you're done with those situations emotionally that you would invest in, Taurus, with those people, those organizations, those jobs, those family members perhaps, that are just trying to take from your mental peace, your mental well-being. That tells me that a lot of my Taurans have done some very good boundary work recently. So you might have had someone take from you. This could be, literally someone stealing from you, lying from you, manipulating what you think about a situation. But it is swords, so it's very much associated with the truth of a matter. Someone's not being truthful about something. And again, it's all about clarity, truth, our understanding, right? And also how it taxes, how this energy taxes our mind, and you're like, I'm done with it. I'm no longer. Maybe you've had some stuff pop up. It's like, your boundaries, and it's not, when you create boundaries, it's not, oh, I'm never going to see this situation or this type of behavior or this type of personality again. Boundaries mean you have the tools in your toolbox to be able to deal with those scenarios and those people and those traits that rub you the wrong way, that used to trigger you. Now you know how to deal with it because you've set up your boundaries. You've got your tools, right? So that's the energy that's crossing you, is like, no more of this taking from my mental peace, stealing from, my mental well-being, my mental space. Again, some of you might have actually been dealing with someone who's lying, stealing, manipulating what they tell you. You're not having it. You're not having it anymore. You're like, I'm not emotionally investing in that bullshit no more. At the base of your reading is a reverse 3 of Pentacles. So again, you're very much like someone, something, some group, some organization, some job, some family member, some team that you've been working very close with that's affecting your resources, your stability, your money perhaps, has proven to be let me back it up. That team, or whoever that energy is not trustworthy. That's the simple, long and short of it. They've proven themselves to not be trustworthy. And so you're just like, okay, I'm done. I'm walking away. I'm leaving this situation behind. And you might have in the past, so this is coming into September, like for my Taurans, 6 of Wands reversed. You might have had then maybe a delay to your victory because of what you've had to deal with this sticky situation, with like these boundaries and these people or jobs or projects. It's really like a team, that you've been working with that are delaying your victory with how you want to be wielding your energy. It's like delaying people recognizing what you're doing, because you've had to kind of stop and deal with this of late, right? Deal with the mental turmoil that comes with that, and just clear that all out and make all the breaks that you need, right? There you are, like making the breaks. You're just like, you're walking away. You're like, nope, no more. So some of y'all might be leaving jobs, changing careers, changing your team at work, or if you're self-employed and you're hiring people, like you might be switching out some of those people. Crowning your reading is the King of Swords reversed. So there's definitely been a very egocentric, cold, callous, emotionless, curt, kind of energy surrounding. This is crowning my reading for Taurus this month. So make sure, Taurus, that whatever is happening, it's not making you, hard like steel. I mean, yeah, we need to have thick skin, but we don't need to be brutes to everyone else. We don't need to be cold and emotionless. But this can also be, again, about like that energy that you've been dealing with of someone who's just been really cold, emotionless, detached, focused on themselves. They're not emotionally invested in any way. But this could also be you. So again, like, do that delicate dance. Make sure that this king is for you right side up, where you're focused on the truth of the matter, gaining clarity, moving forward without a lot of emotional hustle and bustle. So it's kind of like a warning for some of my Taurans. Like, you could feel so emotionally detached and doing your own thing that you're just like, you're cold towards everyone. So make sure that, you're mindful of that with yourself, or again, an actual person, a figure, a masculine figure, maybe an air sign that you might be dealing with this month. Again, it is pointing back to, because it's reversed, that sword is pointing back to this guy in this situation. It's pointing down at this. So I'm thinking, right, like it could be that person for some of y'all. Coming up in the future for my Taurans is like a burst of new energy. Again, holding your freaking boundaries and doing your work, your self-work, and knowing when to like walk away. That shit opens up doors for you. So this is all about a new energy. Lighten up my Taurans coming up in September, end of September. You're going to feel so much creative fire. You're going to have so many ideas. You're going to feel so free and light, right? This is going to be a really exciting energy for you to step into once you've cleared away all of those braggarts who've pulled and hooked into your energy before. You're like clearing those energetic hooks now, Horus, Taurus. Maybe some of y'all have been calling on Horus, if you work with any ascended masters or anything. Here you are, here and now. You are not letting your expectations lead to disappointment. And by that, let me clarify. What I really mean, Taurus, is you understand that expectations often lead to disappointment. And so that's what happened in this scenario with your crew. You trusted somebody, you trusted the wrong people. They put on a good show, maybe like kind of like a narcissist type of behavior. They put on a good mask. You trusted them. They kept it up for a little while, and then they didn't come through in the end. So the lesson again that you've learned is to like not have expectations, that those expectations only lead to disappointment. And so that like literally these swords are falling out from weighing you down. The mental anguish is lifting. It's falling away. Because this is not a cups card. I know it has a big old heart on it, but it's not really about emotions. This is about those things that eat away at your mind, Taurus. So unclench your jaw, relax your body, do some stretches, take some breaths, and know you got this. Because here's how other people see you this month. Yes, you are fucking powerhouse. Yeah, you are not getting held down by shit. Taurus, other people see you, that's like the temptations are there, right? They're always going to be there, but you know what they look like now. You know your own trappings, you've learned these lessons, and especially because I think some of this happened recently for some of my Tauran fam, that you're not willing to put the chains on yourself anymore. You understand that there's more to this life than just material needs and goods. Maybe that's what that pot of gold pouring out meant. It's about the richness that comes from like our connections with nature, our connections with spirit, and our intuitive sides, right? Those images from before, forest, pot of gold pouring out, church Hierophant card. So you're no longer willing to get caught up and lay these traps for yourself to get caught up in, many of which can be trappings of the material world, Taurus, right? Uranus is in Taurus, might be rocking y'all with all of that, your kind of material foundations and possessions. Uranus is in your sign, so it's just like we're gonna shake this all up. We're gonna make it spicy. hopes and fears for Taurus is that, like, you're going to miss some couple of ways. I'm getting this. Some of y'all who are, I don't want to say like more spiritually developed, but for those that are watching that are daily practitioners on, you know, like really of your spiritual practices. I'm getting all tongue-tied. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit at the end of my day with this. But for those of you that are very connected to spirit and very spiritual, you're almost concerned that you're not going to receive your message or messages or maintain your connection from spirit about what your next steps are. For some of y'all, this is about, I'm afraid I'm not going to wield my energy in the right way, but it's an unnecessary fear. You've proven, remember at the beginning of this reading, that 8 of Cups, right? Like, you've proven that you know what you're worth, and that when it's time to walk away, and that you're willing to sacrifice your own victory for the moment in order to do the work that you need to clear this, Taurus. So you're a little bit like anxious, like, oh, am I going to get those messages? Am I going? Maybe some of y'all, I think maybe some of my Taurans might be thinking about moving. You're like, am I going to be able to move? I don't know. Am I going to be able to make that happen? What's happening with the money falling out, right? Pot of gold, like emptying out. What's happening with that? This situation threw me off and now it set me back work-wise. Like, well, you don't have to sweat it. Remember that new energy that's coming in mid-month? You just got to ride with it. Just ride with it, Taurus. You got this. You know what to do. And again, lean into spirit. Lean into your spiritual connections, your higher frequencies, right? That can connect you up with your guides, your ancestors, the angelic realms, whatever. Because final message for Taurus for September is the 8 of Swords. So again, just get out of your own head. You're doing so good. People see you doing the good work, right? Like devil reversed, right? But it's up to us and only us to not bind ourselves in, to not limit ourselves, and to know that at any moment we can take a step forward of when we choose to release ourselves from the cage that is our mind, our constantly chattering mind. Her legs aren't bound. Those swords aren't keeping her locked in. She could keep everything that she's bound with on and still walk free. She could keep herself blind, arms tied, but she could still walk forward. You just need to be willing to step into the unknown, Taurus. There's a lot of new happening for you. There's a lot of old cycles that you are walking away from, a lot of devil energy that you are leaving, a lot of self-defeating behaviors that you have learned from, and you're like, nope, I'm not letting expectations lead me down the road of disappointment again, right? Like, you are doing the work, Taurus. So don't let your mind steal from you that happiness, that stability, that comfort that you've been able to find with all of your work that you've done. Yeah, absolutely, Taurus. So that's the message. Let me know how that hits for you. If you're interested, it's really, I find fun, like if you come back mid-month or end of the month even. I like end of the month, right? Where you can check out, oh, how did this hit? Like, oh shit, yeah, that happened this month. And like, oh, that was on, right? But definitely leave me some comments and let me know how this is hitting for you. I do hope that September is relatively smooth. I know that you got all that inner strength inside that you need, and trust yourself, right? And to guide you through whatever hiccups come and whatever kind of uncomfortable situations arise. Know that there's something you need to learn from that, Taurus. So meet it with curiosity so that you can learn the lessons, so that you don't have to keep repeating the cycles, all right? Because you're ready to move on to a beautiful new beginning, one that's far more in line with your spiritual wholeness and one that's going to lift you up. All right, beautiful family. Sending you so much love for September. Bye, y'all.